Luke and Sensei, the DuBose murder seems to be a pretty strong case for body cams. There would likely be no indictment without that footage. But we've seen cases, actually, though, where body cameras weren't enough, to be honest with you. I mean, maybe, yes.
Body cameras are clearly not enough because he murdered him. I mean, like, let's just be clear.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God that there's evidence and he's getting charged with a capital crime, which is what he committed by all available evidence to me.
Yes, but it did not deter him from doing this to begin with.
It did not deter him from shooting the guy in the fucking head.
And then lying about it.
And co-signing with his partner.
Which means that they believe enough in the system as is that the prosecutor and the police chief even is going to defend them. In this specific case, he overplayed his hand when it came to the prosecutor. But really, that's what we saw. But the problem, like I was saying, going back to that, that's really bothersome is that this isn't enough because the problem is still with the police. The body cameras does not solve the issue that there is a systematic institutional problem with the police all over this country. And it is proven by the fact in this video, but in this case, that the video debunked what the police officer said happened. In the narrative submitted by Officer Eric Weibel, one of the cops who was on the scene, he said that Officer Tensing stated that he was attempting a traffic stop when at some point he began to be dragged by a male black driver. The officer stated that he was almost run over by the driver and was forced to shoot the driver with his duty weapon. Officer Tensing repeated that he was dragged by the vehicle and had to fire his weapon. Philip Kidd, an additional officer, a completely different officer, backed Tensing's account. Weibel writes, Officer Kidd told me that he witnessed a Honda Accord drag Officer Tensing and that he witnessed Officer Tensing fire a single shot. For those just watching the video, you know this is undeniably false. Officer Tensing was standing at the side of the car. He reaches into the car. He goes to open the car door. Sam DuBose simply, lightly holds his door shut. And just by doing that, Tensing reaches into the car. And it does look like DuBose has his keys on the ignition. Maybe he turned the vehicle on. But then the second that gun comes into view of the body camera, DuBose's hands go straight up. And then a second later, Tensing, the officer, pulls the trigger and shoots DuBose in the head. The car was never moving. In fact, the car starts to roll away after he gets shot. DuBose gets shot in the head from his lifeless, dead body. Must have fallen forward onto the gas pedal. In fact, that's even what the prosecutor believes happened. Just amazing. And then the University of Cincinnati police chief, Jason Goodrich, claimed just a few days earlier that when asked for his license, DuBose instead produced a bottle of alcohol from inside the car, handing it to Officer Tensing. This is the police chief. This is false too. Yes. During the video, you see DuBose handing the officer a bottle of alcohol. And the only reason he does that is because Officer Tensing sees the bottle in the car and asks, "What is that? Let me see that." So this whole police chief was obviously trying to, this guy was out of his mind or maybe drunk or something. No, wasn't the case at all. Just hopefully justice will be done. But again, as you see, if this prosecutor and the body camera was not on or was not instituted, and those two separate things combined, that account of the police, from the police, probably would have let Officer Ray Tensing go free.